Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Phoenix, Arizona, it's time for Phoenix Business Radio, spotlighting the city's best businesses and the people who lead them.
Hello and welcome to Phoenix Business Radio, broadcasting live from the Max 6 Entrepreneurial Center right here in Tempe, Arizona, where we help build businesses and connect you with the right people. And I say this every time, and every time I mean it. I am connecting you with the right people today. I would hope that you would help me welcome my friends Elena and Jim Thornton with the Arizona Consortium for the Arts. I can't wait to hear your story and learn more about what you're doing.
My goodness, okay. Karen, thank you so much for inviting us to this beautiful space. Just impressed driving down here. Thank you. Just honored.
We discovered before we came on air that I think Jim and I have only met once, and when you were very busy taking photos for an event that we were at, and that was before the pandemic. I want to say it's been 6 to 7 years
at least. But I follow you. I'm your fan. I follow you on social media. I appreciate you sharing your beautiful spirit, and I'm getting teary-eyed because I so appreciate you, because we as women and men need to hear real stories, not just what they post on social media, pictures, even though we're photographers, right? Pictures are important, but the story behind the real face without the mask. And you are an epitome of an example to follow and learn from. So thank you.
I have no words. Thank you. And I've been following you guys as well. And again, we haven't been in person often. That's I think the beauty of social.
We'll change that.
For sure now, yes. And the beauty of social media, as I found, a lot of people complain about social media, and I just
it works.
Yeah, it does. When you're seeking real, authentic relationships, and we ourselves are real and authentic, that's what we're going to get more of. When I have people say, "Well, I hate the politics," or "I hate that that somebody's posing and pretending they're this or that," and I often think, well, if that's what you're putting out in the world, you're going to get that back. So yes, I've very candidly shared my journey, and you've been there for and with me. I know that because you've often said, "Hey, thank you.
I see you.
Hang in there. I see you." So thank you for that. But this ain't about me today. This is about the two of you. It's a little different than when you get ready to speak in front of an audience and whoever is the host or the MC will introduce you. We're not doing that today. I'm not going to read your bio. I really want this to be about the two of you sharing from your heart professionally and obviously to what degree you want to share personally who you are. So you're photographers first, I think? No, I don't know. Tell us who you are and how you landed at this idea around the consortium.
Well, I come from a country in the former Soviet Union where I grew up, and arts and culture was, just so important. And then came to this country in 1976, beautiful country. Finished high school, earned my bachelor's and my master's. Was a teacher.
Me too.
Right? That's why we love each other. Met Jim while I was still in high school. So we've been married for 41 years.
Almost.
And 43 years together. Without him, there would be...
It surely is.
No.
Time flies.
Without him, there would be no Elena, no consortium, no photography, no movies. There would be nothing. He is my supporter.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm strong. Yes, I'm strong. Yes, I can do it. But with his support and allowing, quote unquote, allowing to quit everything. Like when I was a teacher, you don't have to be, you can, so we can focus on passion.
Incredible.
Right? So, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Chime in anytime.
Well, and so what is your background then? We know Elena was a teacher.
My background, let's see, I'm a computer tech guy.
I saw that. I was surprised. IT, fascinating.
Yeah, I've been doing that, was doing that for, 30 some odd years. And
just retired.
Numerous companies, did a lot of different things.
Traveled to Norway and Greece.
Yep. Yeah. And then things kind of all the acquisitions between the different companies, you just never know. And it seemed like a good fit for us, but they just didn't work out.
Yeah.
And they just said, okay, sorry. And
Yep.
then off I went. So, I was kind of thinking about retiring in October anyway, but I wanted it under my terms, not theirs. But okay, it's all right. We work with it.
Yeah. So the two of you full-time is kind of a new thing then. You've always been
Yes.
part of the business, but now it's a full-time.
Right. So
Yeah.
now I don't have to worry about, oh, wait a minute, I got to work.
Yeah.
We can't do this event. But now it's whatever happens, we can do it. Yeah.
Yay.
And you're liking that.
I love it. I love it. Because I don't drive. I haven't driven in a few years. So when there is something happening, he says, I have to work. I have a day job. What do I do?
Yeah.
Right.
Over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been really blessed. My friends, they know the need and they pick me up and,
Yeah.
send
And you're
Uber.
never, and you're, from my perspective, you're never not anywhere. I mean, you're everywhere. You're always there.
It seems like it, doesn't
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we love our community.
Yeah. So talk about your community. For those listeners and viewers who are not familiar with the great work that the two of you do, how would you introduce yourselves?
So let's focus on what you mentioned, our passion, our community organization. We're all volunteer community organization. We're 501c3, Arizona Consortium for the Arts. I started in 2007. We're going to be 16 years old next month in September. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. It's been just an honor to be in the community, with the community, serve the community. All our programs are free to the community. We have scaled down since the pandemic. We have not returned to full programming where we had monthly open mics and 2 festivals a year. But we still do our signature festival, the Blue Guitar Festival of the Arts. It's coming up November 5th at Desert Ridge Marketplace, 11 to about 3:30. And we have partnered with so many organizations through the years, including ASU West, Mesa Community College, Phoenix Public Libraries, and so on. Our recent collaboration, the last 3 years, I believe, has been Creative Drill Sergeants. They're a veterans organization, and they help us put on the event. They sponsor the sound and sound engineer. So, and they perform. They have a band, Vets Jam Band, and they're the headliners at their festival. So we're just so honored to partner with them. They just started advertising their it's called new concert streaming website, Get Amp Live. And so they're providing streaming services. And this gives their nonprofit and the veterans an employment opportunity. So I wanted to mention that. If anyone is interested in the Creative Drill Sergeants information, you can visit their website, and Gina Ruggiero is their contact person. Jump on YouTube and watch their documentary called Out of Formation. It will change your life.
Really?
It will change your life.
Why is
Watch.
that?
Very good.
It's an
Without
awesome.
giving it away, why would you say that?
It's how veterans are struggling and how art is saving their lives. So that's why we're in partnership, because we are all about arts and culture. And we've provided free programs to the community for the last 16 years. So as I mentioned before, one of our signature events is the Blue Guitar Festival of the Arts. And we feature local community. We used to have dancers and all kinds of performances, but we're sticking closely to just music. And then we have readings from our Blue Guitar magazine. That's another one of our signature programs, is the Blue Guitar magazine, the Blue Guitar Junior, and Unstrung, dedicated to poetry.
Oh my gosh.
The editors are Rebecca and Richard Dyer, blood, sweat, and tears all these years, all volunteer based. And we provide great service to the community, featuring local artists in all genres, literary, arts. And so check us out. You can the blueguitarmagazine.org and artizona.org. These are two. The quote to Blue Guitar and Blue Guitar Junior is starting September 1st.
And what is that? That's an opportunity to come and perform?
The magazine is to be published.
And it's once or twice a year?
The Blue Guitar magazine is spring and fall.
Okay.
The Blue Guitar Junior is once a year. And Armstrong is also once a year.
And the junior is for younger artists?
For under 18 or people who write for kids.
Oh, very good.
Isn't that interesting? It's totally brainchild of Rebecca and Richard Dyer. I'm listed as a publisher. It's one of our programs, but I met her at ASU Writers Conference. She walked in beaming, smiling, and I said, I need to know her.
Of course you did.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
She came up with the name, the Blue Guitar Magazine. She came up with our website names. Artizona.org. How brilliant is that?
It is brilliant. When I was looking at your information that you had shared with us ahead of time so that we can publish it alongside this conversation today, at first glance, the work email info@artizona.org looked like an error. And I'm like, wait a second, I get this, right? Artizona. Brilliant.
She is. We owe so much. Even though they say they owe to us, we owe each other.
That's what's magical, right? When we look to somebody that we're in relationship with, especially when there's mission and purpose alignment, as well as just joy of being and getting to know them, and they look at us and feel the same way about us. It's like you and I, although we don't know each other well, that's when you know it's magic. Mm-hmm. That's when you know that there's purpose and power behind it.
Yep. You're right. It's been happening for 16 years. Every summer we used to go back east, and so I got on a plane, and I'm like, I'm going to start this. I'm going to just start this when I come back from upstate. And I went across the street. My neighbors, unfortunately for us, they moved back to California, but they were instrumental. I went across the street, stood in their kitchen, told them about my dream, and they helped me. Yeah, Aris and Zephyr Jarahian.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much, guys. Without them, seriously, it would be more difficult to come, to do.
The logo.
And he designed the logo. Aris designed the logo as well. Just fabulous people, and I love them. We love them dearly, and we miss them. But they're doing really well in California. So,
Jim, I'm curious, Jim, from your perspective, again, given that you've shared that you've been working full-time all this time up until not even a year ago, am I right?
3 months ago. May.
Yeah. Okay.
3-4 months
so
ago.
Good. We're doing this at a good time to watch this flourish and grow, and to use Elena's words, give her permission, give her the leverage, the opportunity to say, hon, you can do whatever you want to do. What have you noticed in the 16 years that's really tugged on your heart and made you a cheerleader for what she's doing and why you've wanted to be involved?
It's one of those things, her interests I had to be interested into. She had such a passion for it, it was hard to say, no, you can't do this. From there, I just got more familiar with all the different ideas that she had about doing this stuff. Not myself being an artist. She was an artist, is still an artist. And she started in with her paintings and, now she's giving me the look.
I forgot to bring you my book. Okay, there's a reason we will see each other again.
But you're gonna squash him not being an artist.
He is the artist.
Yeah. Okay.
With an IT cerebral.
He's the most beautiful artist, and he's a musician. He's a drummer. His band performs at our events.
Yeah.
The band has a name?
Yes. Name of the band is SMUD.
SMUD.
SMUDD.
Yes, SMUDD.
And what kind of music?
We play mostly, oldies type stuff, Beatles. We play some current stuff, Miley Cyrus. We kind of just...
A lot of covers.
Yeah,
all good stuff, music that
they're
makes
having fun.
Yes, I love that.
That's what we set out to do. When we started, we said, we're just doing this for fun. We don't care about playing out and making money. We're just going to have fun.
And the name SMUD came from what?
subpar musicians utilizing drums and distortion.
And I say superb musicians.
I love that. Very humble.
Yeah,
I get that.
It's one of the IT guys from APS.
They're all IT
Really?
He came up with this,
I love it. And how long have you all been playing together?
Oh, God, we keep thinking every time we get together, say, how long have we been doing this? And
over 20
years.
I
don't know. Yeah, it's a long time.
And yet you say that you're not an artist. Okay, well, whatever. I'm siding with Elena on this one.
He draws beautifully. He just never honed the skills, but he's a natural artist.
And when you said that you went, obviously as a teacher, you got certified as a teacher.
Yep.
Did you?
I have a master's degree in teach in education. Yeah.
And have always been in love with the arts yourself?
Yes. I just never had time. So I had a dream. I had woke up and I'm like, Jim, I had this dream. I was an artist and I had an art show. Well, the next day he bought me an easel and paints and I had shows. I was part of became what do you call it? Led a group of artists. And then I'm like, we need to do bigger things. We need, there were older women and men. They just wanted to do a little.
Nice value, right?
Yeah.
And you knew that there was more.
We need more. We need to give them voice and visibility. We need all artists, all genres. And that's where my dream, my vision of huge space, where all artists can come together and teach and share and support each other. We haven't achieved the dream of the rendering that you see here.
Okay, tell me, you have not or you have?
We have a rendering. We don't have the building. Yes.
What you're looking for our listeners and viewers is a 10,000 square foot venue with about, design for, it's getting even bigger, galleries, classrooms, offices, studios, and theaters. Do you have a specific area of the valley anywhere?
No.
But Greater Phoenix, you want it to be here in...
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
In 16 years since we've been sharing the dream, we've been gently promised many spaces. We even shook hands. They shall name.
Of course.
Not named.
Yeah.
But I grateful to them for listening and saying yes, and then things just didn't work out.
Sure.
For many, many different reasons. But people we have inspired through our programming and the people we have partnered with through the years and all the organizations. I mean, look, Dog-Eared bookstore, Dog-Eared Pages bookstore, right? Yeah. Tom and Melanie, they are our consortium. They represent, our dream. We have been in the bookstore for years doing our open mics, for years. We had featured artists on the wall for a whole month. Their works were on the wall. We had all ages come through open mics. Remember, monthly, for years. They're going to be 50, they just celebrated 15 years old. And I met Melanie at one of the networking events. I said, can we come and be in your bookstore? Can we, the rest is history. Yep. And Melanie's one of our board members still, and a huge supporter. Without them, there would be no programs, because that's how we started. All our programming started. And of course, it's a bookstore, so they filled with books. So we went elsewhere to do bigger events, but the open mics remained. And then the pandemic happened. That was it. And that's, by then we partnered with Creative Drill Sergeants, and they kept finding spaces so we could have host open mics together. And then they evolved, and we don't, hopefully we'll soon resume open mics, but now they're doing, streaming services, and I don't know what will happen, but we're still having our festival, our annual event. We still publish the 3 magazines, and we support our community. We had donated over $15,000 in the last few years to, very needy organizations who, all volunteer run. to artists who were losing their apartment or lost, somebody stole all their equipment, and so they could, we donated so they could continue do their art. And yeah, so we've been so blessed to meet amazing, talented people, and they're all local.
And I'm thinking from the perspective of that, I'll say aspiring artist. You can change that term if I don't have it right. What goes through the mind of an artist who knows they have a passion for whatever medium they express themselves? And what is it for them that holds them back? Is it funding? Is it a lack of belief in themselves? Is it not knowing the right people? Or is it all of that?
Yes.
It's all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's all of it.
Pretty much.
I am lucky. Jim supported me in anything I said I wanted to do.
Well, and that's unique. I mean, whether it's a marriage or a partnership or a friendship or a family, grew up with each other. Sometimes we mean well. Other times, some people don't. But we'll say, really, like your work is beautiful. I know you love it, and no one's going to buy
happens.
it. Or
that's what they say.
Or stick with your day job. That's more reasonable. I mean, I can kind of hear my parents and some of the things that.
And what is your art for, my friend?
I think it's this. And it's connecting with people at a very deep level. It's funny that you ask me that because I always wanted to be blessed with a voice, a singing voice. I'm great in the shower, great in the car.
I'm sure
Beyond
you have
that, forget.
No,
I would like someday, I know, before I leave this earth, I would like to take lessons and really cultivate the voice that I know is in here. I just haven't spent time doing that yet.
You see, I wish we had our consortiums, buildings, space,
so I can
whatever,
come and
so
play
you
and
can,
express
exactly
and learn.
that.
Okay.
Exactly that.
Yeah. And I want it. So drums, you mentioned you've played drums professionally, or I'll call it that. I really wanted to play drums growing up.
Yeah.
And my mom said back in, early 70s, that is a boy's instrument. You need to play piano. And
did you?
Horribly. I can still play chopsticks today. I probably took lessons for 2.5 years. I disliked it so much, which I'm sad about because had I just cultivated a love for it, I'm sure I would have been a decent pianist and stuck with it. I was so frustrated and squashed that I couldn't play drums. I hear rhythmic sounds in my veins, like they pulse through my veins all the time, and I would have loved to pursue that.
Come to our home. There's a book waiting for you and the drum set, and Jim will let you play and guide you.
Yeah.
I was going to say, too, if you come to the fest, if you got a song you want to sing, you could come up on stage, and that's not a problem.
Jump on stage. No, seriously, please come over.
Yeah. So when I think about my gifts in the world, because I don't consider myself an artist, traditionally, dance, music, singing, whatever it is, I continue to look at my work with Business RadioX and the interviews that I get to have.
That's your
and
art
the way
form.
it is, and the way in which I relate to people, and then what I do outside as an integrative coach. That's my art. It's just getting eyeball to eyeball with people and really feeling who they are.
And you're
when we're
fascinating.
together.
And you're beautiful.
That's great.
You're so sweet.
But now you will be a drummer.
But now I want to come. You
Yes.
said, tell us the date again for the upcoming event.
November
5th.
Yeah.
It's a Sunday.
And
It's a Sunday.
where will that be?
Desert Ridge Marketplace.
Yes, you did say that.
Yeah.
Oh.
We've been there for years.
Multiple days or just
Years.
this one day?
Just one day.
For several hours.
Yes.
Several hours. We're going to have readings from the Blue Guitar Magazine. We're going to have performances. We have Arizona Classical Kids. They start, and they've been with us forever. Janet Ivan, Maestro, I call her. She's been going to their homes, teaching them piano. And we award them upon their graduation, if they had taken lessons for a few years, $1,000.
Scholarship, when
scholar-
they go off to
yeah.
college.
Wow.
Yeah. The last one, this year we could only do 500, and I felt bad, but
It is where we're at.
it is where we're at. So just honored that we have these amazing, talented artists. They jump on stage, they take turns, they play piano, and Sometimes they sing.
And a variety of ages, you said. This isn't
Yes, all
necessarily
ages.
just
We had a
children.
93-year-old as well
What?
one time.
I won't wait till I'm 93. I'll be on
See,
that
there
stage
you
before
go.
that.
Now you're inspired.
So I am, and clearly,
Great.
it's the right place to learn to be expressive, and the right people to be expressive with.
Yeah.
Look, people write to me, people call me, message me, and say, I became a poet. I dusted my folder off from 30 years ago, and I started writing again. My daughter saw you taking photographs. She wants a camera. I mean, I hear it all the time. People become dancers, writers, singers, whatever you want. And it just, that's what gives me the drive to continue. Because before the pandemic, I was saying to Jim, I'm tired. He's like, but you've been working so hard for this.
For so many years.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the pandemic, right? It feels like the rules of the game changed.
Yeah, completely.
Because we thought there were rules of the game.
Yes, there's no
That's true.
rules.
And I think, right, there's
No.
everybody says, well, after the pandemic, we're trying to find our new normal. The key is there was never a normal.
No.
We just thought there was.
And we just did it
Yes.
and did it and went and went and went. And now
Yeah.
I know how to say no.
Me too.
Thank
Me
you.
too. Very
Thank you.
comfortably, very confidently.
Thank you.
And often, which means that I can say yes to the right things and have more of me. Yeah. I want to, it feels like a little weird segue, but I really want to talk, since our listeners and our viewers are business, right? This is Business RadioX, and it's typically B2B. Where does your funding come from for the consortium, and who do you need in order to continue to reach your mission and vision?
Oh, thank you for asking. I am guilty of neglecting that part. Like I said, I became tired.
Yeah.
Because we're all volunteers, right? So we've had amazing volunteers come through. One of them is beautiful Kellyanne Bonnell. She wrote some grants for us, and there were other people that stepped forward, to help us with festivals and other projects. But it wasn't like so many, you know what I mean? Like we weren't in pursuit of, because we're all volunteers. You can't just expect, they do what they can, right? So I just went with the flow. And then creative drill sergeants, they apply for grants, and they, in collaboration with us, but they keep, because they need, if we had a facility, maybe we would kind of like share, but, so they keep, because they need the finances. And then we just got sponsorship. We're grateful to Dr. Zamora, Roxanne Zamora. Just met her at an event, and grateful to Margaret Anderson with Arizona Women's Alliance. They hosted an event, and some beautiful ladies came and bought some raffle tickets. And so we have some money that we can pay to people who are going to come and help us to put stuff on the stage, and then tear down. So, I mean, the community's watching. They know the need. They do what they can.
So somebody needs to step up, or an organization needs to step up and say, I see what you're doing. You've been doing it for a while. You're doing it, and you're doing it well.
Yeah.
How can we best support you financially? Yeah, I see that happening.
We've gotten donations, but
sure,
not a lot.
Yeah. This has really been a passion project for all these years. Yeah.
Can we talk about photography?
We can.
Do we have time?
We do. Before we move to photography, because that's how I had no idea that this is a part of your life, and clearly it's a big part of your life. So I'm excited to be a champion for you around this.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Tell us about the Unstrung magazine, because we highlighted the blue
Blue Guitar Junior, and Unstrung is dedicated solely to poetry.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So it's published once a year in the summer.
How do people submit? They just submit their...
Yeah. So the blueguitarmagazine.org.
Okay.
And they can go to artsarizona.org and click through there as well.
Yeah.
And they can see call to artists and writers and poets. And And we're grateful again to Rebecca and Richard Dyer, who just have been instrumental in, getting the submissions and publishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Photography.
Yeah. So, it's has been such a beautiful journey since I started the consortium. And when the social media started to be popular, I noticed people were reacting to photos. And, as an artist, I had a little camera to take pictures of my art. And Jim lost his job. And I'm like, okay, now he can come and go volunteer with me because I was out there in the community. So there we are. I grab my camera, and we go, and people are, oh, great pictures. Oh, great pictures. But it took me a long time. And one time, one of the organizations said, okay, here, we're going to pay you. Can you come and take pictures? I came home. I'm like, Jim, they want me. He's like, not with that camera. So
let's do this. However,
yeah. So he bought me my first camera, and the events, professional camera. Mm-hmm. And then the events got so big, I needed, and here's a young man who says he's not an artist. He has been a photographer all his life. He took pictures of nature and me. I said, I need a second shooter.
Yeah.
So he got himself, because he used to shoot with a real, film and everything camera.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's photos by Elena and Jim.
Yes.
Because I was, I guess, first. And he's like, when we registered, the business, he's like, it's photos by
yours.
Elena and Jim, because you were first. Mm-hmm. But, right, I encourage everyone, including you, my friend.
Well, I'm already there.
Right? You evolve. When did I dream about being a photographer? Never. But I came to support the community and said, oh, I got to take my camera. I'm going to post the pictures on. So I didn't know anything about editing. Jim taught me how to connect the camera to the computer, and now you know how Facebook does the memory and the pictures show up.
Fun.
And I'm like, oh my God, that's 12, 13 years ago, and the pictures are blurry, and people are saying, oh, Elena, that's a good picture.
Yeah. Like,
I delete it. Right? I delete it. I'm like,
so
it's blurry.
How long has it been that you've been a professional photographer?
Over 10 years, but I started taking pictures as soon as the consortium started. We're going to be 16 years old.
So the consortium came first.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I didn't.
So from that, actually, that's when the photography business
because I went into the community to support organizations.
Motivated by what you saw on social media. A great way to story tell.
Yes. Here is, whatever.
Well, you're fantastic. You're very, very good at that.
Well, thank you. But it took me years to hear it, that people said or wrote, oh, wow, that's a great shot. Yeah. I'm like, okay. I didn't hear it.
And then it took somebody to say, we'd like to pay you.
Yes, okay, we will pay.
Like, brilliant idea.
Yeah, that sounds excellent. That would be nice.
I love it.
Thank you. It's been, the organizations that are in the Valley are tremendous.
Yes.
The work that they do is saving lives.
And are we speaking about nonprofits?
Mostly nonprofits.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Yeah, mostly nonprofits. We do have private clients, but it's mostly nonprofits.
Yeah, for their events, their fundraisers, the communities that they serve, getting out and watching them in action, those types of photos.
Yeah, and they appreciate us. They pay us.
Well, of course they do.
Some we do pro bono, of course.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Incredible. You can tell me no, Jim, if I ask this question. I think every couple, or certainly every woman that I know, aspires to be in a relationship like the two of you have. I'm guessing, right? I've only had 30 minutes with you. The way in which you've supported Elena, where does that come from? Is that you grew up that way, or what? How is it that you love your wife so much that you are selfless in service to her passion and purpose?
Well, I guess it's not worth fighting about, something like that.
Yeah.
I guess it's a common thing because I like doing lots of things. like drumming. I work on cars. I work on the house. I do a lot of things.
Eclectic.
Yes. So when she started talking about doing all this stuff, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's all worked out. She keeps always telling me, just keep doing. I said, oh, well, it's not looking so good. No, keep, and sure enough.
So it's very mutual.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
It's the communication thing.
Yes.
You got to have
Okay.
communication.
Supporting,
Yes.
Yeah.
validating,
Yes.
acknowledging,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
elevating.
Mm-hmm.
All the ingredients needed for a great partnership and certainly a great marriage.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'll tell you how the drumming started.
Please do.
So I walk in, and he's drumming. He bought an electronic drum kit. My jaw dropped. I'm like, since when are you drumming?
How long had you two been together before this?
Oh, this is,
forever.
Yes.
Like he all of a sudden, I said, how long? He points to his head, like he's been drumming in his head.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, you nodded at me when I said I can feel rhythm in my bones.
Yeah. So as a youngster, my father worked nights. So to play drums in the house was not going to happen.
Right.
Because the mother didn't really care for it either. So I picked up guitar and I played guitar for a little while. But my cousins had drums. Everybody in the family were drummers.
And yet it just didn't make sense in the home that you were in.
I couldn't do it there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I figured, okay. So I would kind of get my coffee cans and do that kind of thing, But I never was able to get a real drum kit. So, kind of time went by and I said, I'm older now. I got my own house. I can do what I want. So that's when I went out and got this kit.
And surprised you.
I was shocked. I said, oh my God, you're so good.
From right off go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then he told his friends at work, and they were getting together after work and in the basement, and they're like, hey, join us. And the rest is history.
Yeah, it was.
Since then, of course, he's got a full kit.
Yeah.
Or on his third one now or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's your turn, Karen.
I know. Yeah. And now I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited and I'm certainly inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Encouraging each other.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And stepping out of that, the nervousness or the discomfort. Jesse, our producer, and I cut a couple of videos today to promote Business RadioX. And I'm like, okay, I can do this all day long, especially shine the spotlight on other people and just listening and thinking about questions that people might be curious or that I'm intrigued by. But when I have to do the sound bites or the, hey, hit this mark, do it this way, I'm like, okay. But thank goodness Jesse is so supportive and
he's awesome.
He really is, and encouraging me to do it. So really, I think we're here to support each other and encourage and just lift each other up, especially when we're feeling a little bit tired or frustrated or dejected. So thank you for sharing that. I was hoping that was a safe question to ask, and I appreciate that.
No.
Yeah.
And we do video too.
Okay, speak to that.
Yeah. We filmed a feature film for Dr. Brenda Combs.
You mentioned that briefly.
Church Peoples. It's on YouTube. Okay. It has like 53,000 looks. Like it's
views, yeah.
And how long ago was that?
A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
A documentary.
No, it's a comedy. She stages plays, and then, but because of the pandemic, she's like, you guys, let's film. We're like, no. Like 3 or 4 times she asked us, and finally said yes. She's incredible, talking about, supporting and validating and acknowledging and inspiring. Like she kept coming over and saying, let's film. I said, but we're not filmmakers. And she said, yes, you are.
And you are. Now you can own it.
and we filmed a movie in Hawaii for Kimberly based on a comedy that John Kestner wrote. Short comedy, yeah.
Okay.
And it's winning awards. As we're driving, she tagged me. It's on my timeline on Facebook. It's going to be at the Sholo Film Festival, going to be showing. And I guess we're up for some awards.
Would have never known.
Yeah.
And that's when we went to Hawaii to visit her.
Yeah.
And she brought the idea. So we're trying to pack equipment. And I said, we can't bring all our stuff. So we just
I jokingly said, let's make a movie. And at that, like day before, she got a script. Like she's like, I got a script. I'm like, okay, we're gonna bring cameras. Yeah.
And you did.
I
You
did.
were,
And
you were
sound
saying, I
and
can't
few
bring...
cameras and it's all
she had great
DSLRs
talent.
and,
She's great talent. Her husband Richard, they're in the movie, and John Kestner is brilliant.
Yeah, she found all these people that wanted to do some acting, some different parts in it, and it was, okay.
One guy didn't show up, so Jim is at the end of the movie.
Yeah. I had to jump in there too. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about these two movies again, so our viewers and listeners can go find them.
So Dr. Brenda Combs, Church Peoples, is on YouTube, and
P-E-E.
Yes, it's spelled P-E-E-P-L-E-S.
Peoples.
Yeah.
Peoples.
Okay.
It's a comedy. It's awesome. She's got some stellar actors. I mean, our community here is incredible. And the movie for Kimberly by John Kestner is called Sand in the Crack. It's a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Sand in the Crack.
It's a really funny
Oh
short.
my gosh!
And
we can look those up and we'll find them out there on YouTube or
just Church Peoples. Because Sand in the Crack is doing the film festival round.
It's not, we have to wait for that.
Yeah, it's not posted yet. But
okay.
Yeah,
Sand in the Crack.
Yeah,
it's funny. It's a really cool comedy.
Yeah. So good. As we round out our time together, what haven't I thought to ask that's important to share? I love that you brought notes. I love when people...
Yeah, because as we age...
I do know.
Not you'll remain young forever.
Oh, no.
But,
I'd like to think that I'm reversing, but every line tells me that I'm moving forward.
Yeah. No, just come to our festival, Sunday, November 5th at Desert Ridge Marketplace. It's our 14th annual Blue Guitar Festival.
And the hours for that event?
11 to about 3:30 or so.
The weather should be beautiful, I'm sure.
The weather's always amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you're such a great interviewer and you were prepared. You asked all the right questions and I covered basically all my notes here. I mean, seriously.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. How do folks stay in touch with you? I mean, I know I get the pleasure of being your Facebook pal. I think are you on LinkedIn much?
You contacted me through LinkedIn this morning, so I friended
I can't
you.
say that I personally did that.
Okay, well, someone on your team.
We'll thank Lee for that.
Yes.
So you are on LinkedIn, active on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I post our newsletters. I click like on other people's when I get a chance.
Mainly Facebook, Instagram?
We have Instagram, Artizona.org, and photos by Elena and Jim, Twitter, Artizona.org, Facebook, Arizona Consortium for the Arts Charity.
Yeah.
Twitter. Is it Twitter anymore?
Did I say Twitter? Oh, it's X now, whatever.
Yeah, I could
formerly Twitter.
I could not bring myself to do Twitter ever. I tried a handful of times a long time ago, and I just
post the newsletters.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
good. Yeah, just get on.
That's it.
Just follow you on social.
Yeah,
Artizona.org.
Yeah, a website. Artizona.org.
Okay. And if there's somebody who's interested in being a donor or becoming just an advocate,
it's
for
on
the
our
consortium,
website.
Yeah, there's plenty of
There's
places
a donate button.
Good, I love it.
And photos by Elena and Jim.
Photos by Elena and Jim.com. ELENA. Yeah.
We're coming up on a busy season for nonprofits, aren't we?
It's starting.
Yeah.
It's starting.
It's time. When the weather starts cooling off, that's when the events start happening.
We're getting inquiries. Yeah.
Good. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you said yes. So glad you're willing to come as well. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm looking forward to staying in touch. And now my the aspiring artist in me.
You're coming to drum?
That kind of keeps hidden in here somewhere.
Yeah. The drum set will be set up for you, and I have my book of poetry, 2 short stories, and some of my images of my artwork.
It's your book?
Yeah, my book. It's called The Freedom to Journey On.
Where do we find that?
It's on Amazon. It's called The Freedom to Journey On by Elena Thornton.
How long ago did you publish that?
Well, I had the collection, and I would make little booklets and give them to people, and then the pandemic hit. Jim was like, why don't you just put it together? And so I did.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
The beauty of Amazon.
Yes. Years ago I had a children's book on Amazon. Yeah, Maddie Moonbeam's Garden, Story of Love.
You have to reignite it again.
Yes, I'm not sure about that. I would do things a little differently. However, I'll bring you a copy. And then I think you knew that Ivan and I, my youngest, and I wrote a book together. It's a really small little, The World According to Ivan. We did it for charity. We did it for a nonprofit, Scott Foundation.
Oh my God, yes.
So like Jim, I'm hearing myself talking like, You kind of are an artist in a different sort of way.
You are
Yeah,
an artist.
good at
And a
Aw.
writer. Who did your illustrations for
A gal that I had
Ivan?
gone to a coaching. Well, so with Ivan, it was a friend, Priscilla Monhay, who's like a second mother to him.
Aw.
Also in IT.
Uh-huh.
She's an IT professional. And then the book that I had, I won a national award for, a Mom's Choice Award, is a
Nice.
story of love and acceptance. It's more of a picture book with a beautiful little cadence and a story for read alouds. And that artist was somebody that I met through my coaching training years ago. And, all these, it was published in 2010. So now all these years later, I look at the book, I still love the story. And I just think I would have chosen to do things a little differently artistically. I just didn't know. And so, yeah, maybe there'll be a second edition or something one of these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, good. I'll bring you a copy when I come play the drums.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so Elena and Jim Thornton is an Arizona Consortium for the Arts, and photos by Elena and Jim. You got to know these people. Yeah, I'm really pleased to have you with me today. And thank you again. I didn't realize how special this, I knew this conversation would be special. I didn't realize that typically you are turning down interviews. So I really appreciate you trusting me enough
No, I've done
to share your
some,
story.
you know,
I hear
but
you
I
not
just
saying
don't-
no, but you get to be
Yeah.
picky. Thanks for being
I
selective.
just
Yeah, I love it.
love you.
Love you as well. Thank you both. Great to get to know you better today.
Thank you.
Yeah. You've been listening to Phoenix Business Radio, broadcasting live from the Mac 6 Entrepreneurial Center right here in Tempe, Arizona. Some media leans left, some lean right, and we lean arts and business. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.